Hello ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? So today's video, I got a couple things to talk about. One, I gotta talk about this with you guys, which is a little bit sad, so I'm gonna get this done out of the way first, and then the second thing, I'm gonna talk about what we're gonna do in the fall and winter. So first thing, eye patch. So I recently found out, after a series of events, that I actually have had eye cancer, melanoma. I'm wearing this because I actually had to take out my eye. It was too big to save, so I am now one-eyed Drew, so to speak. As of now, I don't have it nowhere else. They did get it all, so that's the good thing. Still waiting to hear back how often I'm going to have to get checked. I'm assuming it's going to be just like everything. It's going to be 3 months at first, and then they're going to space it out the longer if I don't have any issues. That's the first thing. Just to thank you ahead of time for your well wishes and stuff like that, because I know people are going to do that. That's the sad news. We're not going to hang on the sad news. The cool news, not really cool news, but more so what we're going to do this fall. We're going to do a couple things. So I'm still doing the Great Lakes Anglers Achievements, so the only thing I really did this year was smallmouth and sheephead and stuff like that. This fall we're going to try to, I'm going to pop the chart up here on the video too, so that way you guys can look at it and see what I'm looking at. We're going to try to get the Atlantic salmon, so off of looking on the chart in the computer, in the Great Lakes it's 30 inches. Chinook salmon, so that's kings, 38 inches. Cohos or silvers, 30 inches. And then your brown trout in the Great Lakes are 26, lake trout 33, and rainbow trout is 30. And then of course we still have a shot at getting some walleye. Walleye's 25. So we're going to try to do as much of that as we can. I'm probably going to be fishing the river quite a bit this year. I actually bought a new float rod for down there. So we're going to see what we can do with that. Hopefully I can get down there and do that a little bit. I got to watch with the eye. The depth perception isn't what it used to be when I had two. It's pretty decent, but it's definitely lacking a little bit, obviously, because I have one. So with that being said, like I said, we're just going to see what we can get into. So the fall season, basically, I'll go over that now. The fall season, what the plan is going forward. So the day I'm shooting this is the day I'm releasing it, so it should be the 19th of August. So I'm probably going to do a couple of trips to one of the piers up here and do some largemouth fishing and stuff like that, because I know there's still some largemouth lurking around there. I'm going to probably do something like that where we're doing largemouth, perch, bluegill. It's not going to be overly exciting video. It's just going to be something to kind of just for some shits and giggles, basically. And then once we start getting later into the season, when the salmon start creeping around the piers, I'm going to try to do a lot of pier fishing videos and see what we can get with that. So I'm going to try throwing the Arctic spinners, which if you guys have not seen yet, that's actually our channel sponsor. There's a link in the description for this video and a lot of the videos, pretty much all my videos I think, where if you go to the link and then you use my code, you get 10% off, which I recommend that if you guys are going to try out their spinners, you need to do that like now, because Michigan is, from what I have seen video-wise, is starting to get them creeping into the harbors, so it's only a matter of a couple weeks before they start pushing into the rivers, and that is a very popular lure up there, and it's slowly starting to gain a little bit of popularity here. So if you want to use any of those, which I highly recommend you do because they work really well up here for salmon, order them ASAP, use my code, you get 10% off. And then what we're going to do for the piers, like I said, we're going to do some night casting. I don't know how I'm going to do that because both the GoPro and the Sony camera I have are not very good low light, so we're going to see. The video might be, the footage might be crap, but I might post it or might not post it. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. And then once the salmon start moving up into the creeks, I'm going to do some float fishing videos, so I'm planning as of now to go out with my buddy Mike from Riverboard Fishing Charters, which I'll leave a link down in his description, in the video description as well. If you want to go out and do a trip with him for salmon, you can go out and do all that cool stuff with him. And then on top of that, once they're in the rivers, it is gonna be predominantly for the month of October. It's gonna be predominantly nothing but salmon videos. I love my salmon videos. I love fishing for them. I love filming them. I love editing them. So I'm probably gonna do that for the month of October. All the videos are still gonna be withheld at least a week or two, just because, again, like I've said in videos past, I don't want people watching them for fish reports, basically. So I'll probably do that, and then once the salmon start dissipating a little bit more, so that'll probably be first week November, second week November, then I'll start switching focus to steelhead and brown trout. There may be some steelhead videos in September, before I forget. There may be, depending upon if I get my butt in gear and I get down to where they're going to pop in first, if they do. I might have some in September or early October. I don't know yet. So we'll see what we got with that. And then, like I said, once November hits, we do the brown trout. And then winter, we just hit our steelhead brown trout program. Like I said, I'm going to switch around with fishing the river, the creeks, and all that stuff. Like I said, I'm probably going to be primarily more focused on the river this year, or trying to fish the river this year. I'm still learning the float game down there. I might end up cowarding out and just using regular bass tactics for them and stuff like that, because I've used that before and it's worked, and I've just tried not to do that because it's not as cool. It's not as cool. So there's that. And then, pending if we get any ice or not, it's kind of been hit or miss the past couple years. If we get any ice fishing, I'll switch over. That'll probably take precedence over to steelhead and brown trout fishing and stuff like that, just because, number one, it's something different for me to do. It changes it up. Number two, I bought probably 2 or 3 years ago, the last good ice we had, I bought a lot of ice fishing gear I have never even opened or touched yet. I would like to use it, plain and simple. So I'll probably do some of that. And I have an actual, like I said last year, I have an underwater camera. I'm going to take some footage from that and put it in the videos, and I think it'll be cooler than the regular stuff. But if not, then like I said, we're going to focus on the river and the creeks and stuff like that. And then at that point, we should hit up into March and April, and at that point, it's going to be a little bit of this, a little bit of that kind of ordeal. I may this fall too, around November, I might take a day out and go out with Mike for some big Erie smallmouth and see if I can get a 6 or a 7 pounder. That might be something I do too. But if not, then I'm going to take, and instead of doing, so I usually do like a river trip with him, and we usually just go and we just have a pound day with smallies. If we don't do that in spring, what I'll do is I'll do my large smallmouth trip then and see if we can get some big ones. And then it's going to push us into our summer program and spring program, and hopefully, if I don't have any more health hiccups, next year I'm going to do a day where we go to one of the Finger Lakes and we do pike, muskie, largemouth, smallmouth, that kind of ordeal. But that's later down the road, assuming I have no more health hiccups. Outside of that, if you guys got any suggestions for things you want to see this fall, let me know. I'll look at it and see what I want to do with them. But outside of that, I'm going to leave the link for Arctic Spinner down below. And also, we are affiliated with Blood Run, so if you guys need floats, swivels, lines, split shot, so on and so forth, if you go on their website, if you use the custom URL they gave me and /orb my code, you get 10% off, and then that helps me. I do get a little bit of something from you guys purchasing through them when you use my code or link and stuff like that. So if you do use it, thank you ahead of time. But outside of that, I think that's it. I appreciate you guys watching. Got a lot of support on the last video, and we've definitely been trending. We trended very well this summer. We didn't do as well as we were starting to at the beginning of the year, but that's just because the videos that everyone was watching, the popularity kind of like decreased as we got out of season for it. So I kind of expected a little bit, but I think thank you guys for watching, and whatever happens with this, I'll keep you guys updated on it and let you guys know and all that kind of cool stuff. But again, check out the link for Arctic Spinners and the Blood Run stuff and all that good stuff. So thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.